Talkin friends to the podcast that never ends. We have a little fun and we read. Let the music play on, play on, play on. Feel it in your heart and feel it in your soul. You turn on this podcast and you lose control. We're gonna podcast, Jive Talk, forever, forever. Come on and sing along. We're gonna Jive Talk forever and ever and ever. Come on and do it now. Jive, Jive Talk, Jive Talk, Jive Talk, Jive Talk, Jive Talk, Jive Talk, Jive, Jive Talk, Jive Talk, Jive Talk, Jive, Jive Talk. We're gonna, oh my goodness. Man, I'm getting good. I feel like I'm getting good. Welcome, welcome one and all back to another hot and stimulating, titillating episode of Jive Talking with Shane Diablo. I would be Shane Diablo. I'm your best friend in the entire world. From faraway, long, distant lands, I'm your best friend in the world. You can confide in me about anything that you need to, quite frankly. What episode is this? This is 109, I think. 109 episodes. Have you made it through all of these? Congratulations to you. I feel like some of those stories you could probably go back and just kind of relive, couldn't you? If you were like, from months and months and months ago, you're like, yeah, I know about that. But maybe sometime in the future, people will go back and go, oh, I remember that. Yeah, when that little incident occurred and he made fun of it all the way through. Guys, I've been getting a lot of grief from people lately. First grievance up on the thing, and then we'll get into the podcast here, is that I guess in the Sabaton video that I did, Christmas Truce, after the credits, there was an Easter egg. I did a little TikTok about it, but there was an Easter egg at the end of that. So I'm getting shamed and told I'm a terrible person in those comments because they're saying, I can't believe you missed Floor Jansen, former singer for Nightwish. She does something at the very end of the video. How the hell am I supposed to know? When did we start putting post-credit scenes at the end of music videos? That's what I would like to know. When you get on the YouTube and you want to watch a quick rock and roll video from a band, you're not expecting to see a full list of credits and an Easter egg at the end. Yeah. And then another thing, and I've got, I hope you don't mind me saying all this to you guys, talking your ear off. But there's a guy that gets on my bus when I go to work in the mornings, okay? Or no, we'll talk about that guy a different time. I want to talk about this incident that I had, and it involves mentally, what's the word for it? It's mental, might have some diagnoses of some sort. But here's the problem with that: is I feel like I need a hint. When I see that kind of stuff. Here's what happens. I get on the bus. There's a guy. He's got, he looks kind of like Tom Segura with darker kind of beard, mustache, and everything else, but he looked a little bit like Tom Segura. He's wearing a black vampire cape. He's holding some kind of a Scooby-Doo. I think it was a Pokemon. The more I looked at the little brown with white eyes, and he was holding it. And he's looking at his phone, and he's trying to bite on his finger, his thumb or whatever at the same time. And I sit down, I'm like, okay, that's an interesting fellow. That's fine, whatever, I'm fine with it. And then I got my earbuds in, I'm listening to music, and I can see him look at me, and he starts, so God, okay, I take the earbud out. And he asked me, does this bus go all the way down to the red line and turn at the station there? And I says, I don't know, because I don't go all that far down, so I don't know. And he goes, oh, I'm not saying that you don't know. I'm just saying, I was just asking the question. I says, yeah, I go down away. I don't know if it goes all the way down to the red line. Okay. Put the earbud back in. He goes right back to it. And I'm thinking, he probably has a mental, there's some kind of whatever. I don't know the right words for it, but you understand what I'm saying. And not but 2 seconds later, he do it again. I take my earbud out, and he says the same exact thing. And I says, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that bus goes all the way down. I get off at a certain point, and I don't know where it goes after that, but I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay. put the earbud back in, and 2 more times he does the same thing. And the 4th time I'm going, yeah, what is it? Now, I don't know if the bus is going down. Here's the issue that I had. I felt like I was starting to, heat up, overload, percolate. And and then I was like, how dare you do that? Because this guy may have a mental, whatever the proper terms are for it. But the problem that I had with him is I was no clues. You know what I mean? Usually you can kind of, off the vibe or something, you can go, okay, perhaps I'm dealing with somebody. A lot of people say that about me when they talk to me. Oh, there's something. Okay, interesting. But I wasn't getting that from this guy. Almost like if he had a hidden camera, he's just like, let's just see how many times we can piss this guy off. I'm going to ask the same, anyways. Get in the comments and give me your Freudian whatevers that you need to do down there. Once, twice, 3 times I'm even cool with it. And then the 4th time I was just like, and then finally, to end that story, the guy just gets off the bus. He didn't even go all the way down to the red line or whatever. I think maybe he was like, I'm feeling, toxic in here or something. I don't know. But few stops after the 4th time he asked, he just got off the bus. And it clearly wasn't all the way down to where the red line is, I'll tell you that. Anyways, welcome to the episode, and we have Joey Belladonna here. That's right. The man himself. Now, he's doing some things for a band called Anthrax, but we all know deep down in our hearts that he'd love to be in Journey. But the article, and we're going through Metal Injection this time. I thought we would kind of goose it a little bit. And we have so many good stories to talk about, including, you guys know how much I love paranormal? Freaking Megadeth. And our pal, James Lomenzo, in a ghostly prison. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we're just going to watch a clip of it. But let's get into this. The Joey man. He was talking about the Bush era. What was it? Joey Belladonna shares opinion on the Bush era Anthrax. It was different. I'll give him that. I wanted to know what this guy had to say about it. The early 90s were a curious time for metal. Some of the genre's biggest names, from Motley Crue to Iron Maiden, made the baffling decision to part ways with their iconic singers. They did a lot of that too, didn't they? There was a lot of them just were kicking them out shit going on too. Anthrax, fresh off their thrash masterpiece Persistence of Time, and riding that rap metal wave with Public Enemy, joined the trend, leaving fans scratching their heads. I was. Their 10 million Elektra Records deal couldn't mend the cracks. Joey Belladonna, the band's fiery frontman, was out, replaced by Armored Saint's John Bush. And we love him in Armored Saint. And maybe you like him in Anthrax. For 1993's Sound of White Noise, a record that took the band down a different sonic path. But did the band actually improve with the switch? Well, I'm going to take a drink. Oh! Mango. If you're asking the singer Joey Belladonna, hey, what did you think of the other singer in the band? He's gonna be very polite about it, but he's gonna have some couple digs in there. If you ask Belladonna, and they're gonna tell you right here, if you ask Belladonna who reunited with Anthrax in 2010, he doesn't think so. Candidly speaking about the subject of the Chuck Shoot podcast, Joey offered his perspective. I didn't see anything really. Oh my God, now they've really figured it out. Or it's so much better. It was different, I'll give them that. But it wasn't anything like, holy cow, man, boy, they should have done that a long time ago. Forget it. I mean, other than somebody going, hey, it's different. I kind of like the different twist, but it wasn't to me for the better. I agree with that 100%. I'll full disclosure here. I know the song only off that Anthrax record. That we might have to discover some of that in the first listens, because I don't know any tune off there except for, unless they did, is the Bring the Jam, Bring the Noise with John Bush in the band. And the timing, question mark, let's just say it was about as smooth as a mosh pit after a power outage, according to Belladonna's own opinion. I mean, we were smoking. Right after Persistence of Time, we were going, things were rolling there. You just said it right out of the box. You did this deal, and all of a sudden, now you're gone? Yeah, it's really wrong. I'm not a vindictive person. Okay, when you say that you're not a vindictive person, you're about to say something a little vin-vin. You're about to say something a little vindictive. Vindicky. Vindickish, if you ask me. We tried to work things out to be able to say goodbye just as well as enough for... This all sounds mumbly and weird to me, or I'm reading it weird. Just as well enough for, okay, I'm just not into the whole fight of it all. But you know what? It's an ongoing battle just as well to try to keep myself on a level of fairness. I didn't understand any of that. Did that make sense? Despite the drama, Belladonna assures us there's no bad blood between him and his band today. Look, we are a band that's tight, and it works great, and why not? Find a way, figure it out, try to do something that will be long-lasting, and enjoy what you have. And understand that this is a great situation to be in, where you got 4 out of 5 people that are really capable of doing everything they can do musically and live. It's quite good. And there's that. The Chuck sheet, and he's got Joey Belladonna there. Okay, so that's fun. Let's get into Tobias. You might know this guy, this spooky, creepy fella right here. This is Tobias Forge. Under the mask, it is Tobias Forge. Under those little peachy eyes you can see there. The mask is Papa Emeritus, and this is the band Ghost. And the tagline here was Tobias Forge talks Ghost's meteoric rise in 2023. They pulled the Black Album, right? The challenge of even bigger shows. On this last tour, you can tell that something has happened. Yes, and he's saying, something happened. Look, I'm erect. They did the twist. If you listen to the first 2 records, you're going, that's a heavy band. That's they've been compared to Merciful Fate and Blue Oyster Cult off that first record and stuff, and they slowly, gradually moved it out into the more palatable rock and roll. It's neither here nor there. It's just they went more palatable to get a bigger following. Something that you can, smaller bites that you can chew up and swallow. Remember when Ghost used to haunt intimate clubs with their occult theatrics? Turns out they've traded crypts for coliseums. Tobias Forge discussed the band's growth in a recent interview with Metal Hammer. He revealed how Ghost's live shows has ballooned, with venues doubling in size from their previous tour. Detroit, a city that once saw them play to 4,000 souls, witnessed the Nameless Ghouls mesmerizing a crowd of over 10,000 during their latest tour, aptly named Imperator. It's a devilish upgrade, and their fans are lapping it up like holy water. On this last tour, you can tell that something has happened. Yes. There's a lot more kids at the show. The last time we played Detroit, we played in front of 4,000 satanics. This time it was over 10,000. We're doubling everywhere. But it wasn't just about bigger rooms. Ghost opened the gates of hell, dare we say, on the stage, with the Trek boasting more tech wizardry and even a trope of dancers adding They didn't have no dancers when I saw them. Did they have dancers when I saw them? The troupe of dancers adding extra oomph to the macabre theatrics. Think fire, fog, enough papal bling to make the Vatican blush.
We opened Pandora's box. We were adding all these other elements to the show that a lot of people, myself included, I'm not gonna lie, with myself included, thought that would be cool to do all the time, which is kind of complicated because with something like dancers there, it's been crazy with the hands, the slapping in the balls, slapping in the faces, and you're essentially adding another team of performers, which means paychecks that I'm not prepared to really want to pay. Quite frankly, if I'm being quite frank. It's another set of people you need to train and be in shape and travel and be fed. There are still budgetary issues. There it is. There it is. He's one of the biggest 10 bands of 2023, wouldn't you agree? I mean, you know, it's all hip-hop and Taylor Swift and shit, but in the hard rock, metal, rock world, they're top 5, baby. They're top 5. And he says, there are still some budgetary issues. I'm looking at all the receipts and whatnot and trying to figure it out. I want them fucking dancers. Absolutely. Every cool idea you can come up with is really expensive. It always costs money, and money is what controls everything. Oh, you have to pick and choose,
Forge admits, acknowledging the logistics and financial challenges of these additions. Yes, it's expensive. And Dave Mustaine says it's getting more expensive. Do you see what these bands go through to come and entertain you? You're welcome. Jeez. Yet somehow, Forge continues to pull it off. Ghost has gone from basement-dwelling spooksters to arena-dominating rock lords, transcending their initial niche appeal, now with a live show that's both grandiose and intimate, theatrical and crowd-pleasing. Who knows? Maybe next time they'll bring along a fire-breathing dragon. Maybe the dragon is part of the upcoming movie. Who knows? Man, I'm really digging the style here of Metal Injection. I mean, you know, they're kind of laying it down to old Blabbermouth, aren't they, with this? But it's like, this is feeling good to me.
Bruce Dickinson. Do you know who Bruce Dickinson is? Of course you are. There I am. I'm in the middle of a coliseum and I've been taking them Joe Rogan vitamins. I've got myself a brand new black little t-shirt and my little ninja pants. I like to wear them because they're comfortable. And I am out holding my hand to tell you, take my hand and I shall tell you about the Mandrake Project.
Bruce Dickinson explains the evolving concept for his upcoming solo album,
The Mandrake Project. What if you had an album that had a...
Oh, is this... I like to do that. I mean, I'm digging the little taglines. This is Joe Barrios. What if you had an album that had a story that could be turned into a comic and the two things would work together? Isn't that every single thing that we watch on Netflix? I guess the album part, right? Anyways, let's get it.
He says, Shane, you did... I'd go listen to Joe Rogan. He was going to tell you about these wonderful vitamin pills I've been taking.
Bruce Dickinson recently unveiled the first single and music video of his upcoming solo album,
The Mandrake Project.
The song Afterglow of Ragnarok, which we did on this channel, you're welcome, premiered accompanying a cinematic and dark video on the opening day of CCXP23. The freak is that? Brazil's huge Comic-Con event in Sao Paulo. That's what it is. For a minute there, I thought it was one of them goddamn Star Wars robots. During the unveiling, Dickinson not only premiered the clip, but also revealed additional details on the album and an upcoming comic collaboration.
Get the hell out of here.
The what? with Z2 Comics. Oh, I think we mentioned that, did we? Let's I thought we mentioned something about that. During the unveiling, Dickinson not only premiered the clip, but also revealed the Agenda 72, adding to the excitement. And it was extremely exciting. 2,000 exclusive comic versions were announced, sending ripples of joy with the global comic community. There was fucking ripples for days. Did you hear what Bruce Dickinson's doing? Who? Give me another pack of Pokemons. Did I mention the guy on the bus? That's what he was after. Why he kept asking about? Maybe I left that out. He had the Pokemon doll and the vampire cape on, but that's what he kept at the end of this. Where was a red line? Because I got to get down to get Pokemon cards. Is what he kept saying. That's why I was wondering. I was like, is there something go? But he was delivering it as though, no, I'm just a free soul, bro. And that's fine. I would just say, figure out your free soul to ask somebody only twice instead of 4 times. Anyways, the album recorded in Los Angeles Doom Room with Roy Z at the helm, who also played bass and guitars, also featured keyboardist Mysteria and drummer Dave Marino, both reprising their roles from Dickinson's previous solo album Tyranny of Souls. In a recent interview with Brazil's Omelete. Is that it? Omelette? Is it Omelete? Transcribed by Blabbermouth. Oh, good, they're getting in here. Blabbermouth's bringing it. Dickinson further explained the album's thematic core, intertwining music and comics in an adult-themed 12-episode graphic novel. The Mandrake Project. Oh, this ain't him. The Mandrake Project delves into the enigmatic world of Dr. Necropolis. Ooh. An orphaned genius grappling with his identity and the profound implications of groundbreaking scientific endeavors known as the Mandrake Project. This ambitious project seeks to capture the store human souls, opening up, I'm reading that again. This ambitious project, the Mandrake Project, seeks to capture and store human souls, opening up a realm of ethical quandaries and existential questions. I'm doing great with the words, too. I'm happy with this because quandaries, that's something that I wouldn't have known exactly how to say and look at, and existential. So the Mandrake Project is an album. It's the name of the album. The comic is a 12-episode graphic novel kind of adult style, so we can put tits and stuff like that in it if we want to. All you have to really do is say that it's an adult comic, and then you can have tits or whatever you want in it. Maybe a schlong hanging down, someone's fighting in a schlong. There's a lot of stuff in it. There's a lot of sex and drugs, and violence, and all kinds of stuff. But it's basically a really fun story about... No. But it's basically a story about a guy who is looking for his identity. Dr. Necropolis. He's an orphan. He's a genius. And he hates it. And he hates life. But he's involved in the Mandrake Project. And the Mandrake Project aims to take the human soul at the point of death, capture it, store it, and put it back in something else. And the guys that's running the project, Professor Lazarus, of course it's Lazarus. It's got to be Lazarus. It can't be anything but that. It's got to be. Professor Lazarus has one vision and one vision only of what's gonna happen with this technology, and Necropolis, Dr. Necropolis, has other ideas. And on we go with the story. Dickinson also reflects on the fusion of music and comics and reminisced about Iron Maiden's past flirtations with cover art and video games, leading to the creation of Legacy of the Beast.
Well, I think they do kind of go together, don't you? They really do. Music and games and music and comics and games. They're all related.
Years ago, Iron Maiden were doing some...
Years ago. Many years ago. Iron Maiden, we were doing some cover art, and I said, why don't we do a comic? Like the comics that I used to read when I was a little bloke. When I suggested doing some covers. Comic covers. We did some single artwork for Iron Maiden, and I thought, you know what? This is kind of cool. Then later, Maiden had a video game called The Legacy of the Beast. We still do. They didn't technically make the game and then just burn it and throw it away so it doesn't exist. They put the game out, Legacy of the Beast, and it's still out.
Dickinson added,
But there came with a video game. Somebody produced a series of comics, and I thought they looked fantastic. But they lacked a story, and I've got a good brain for stories, so I says, I think I can write a story. And that got me thinking, what if you had an album that had a story that could be turned into a comic, and the two things would work together? As it happens, and sometimes it does, kismet and whatnot, they've actually grown apart. So the original album in 2014 was going to be one comic with the album. That's it.
I don't know if I missed something there. Oh, let's see. What's here? Do we want to do this? Okay.
Then COVID happened. Other things happened. 7 years went by, and I had a 12-episode graphic novel, and I went, I don't want to restrict the album to being like a script for this. These two things exist separately, but they inform each other. So you can look at the album and go, oh yeah, baby, that's kind of related to the comic. And you look at the comic and go, oh, I see. I might be a little bit related to the album. But they're not dependent on each other. So you can buy the comic. If you'd like to just buy the comic, you could do that. Or you could buy the album. Or, and you're not going to believe we're offering this up, but you could buy both at the same purchase.
The Mandrake Project track list reads like a journey with the familiar echoes like Eternity Has Failed, making a comeback in an evolved form from its Iron Maiden roots. This only adds to the intrigue, showcasing the extensive creative process that birthed this long-anticipated record. The album is described as a sonically heavy and rich in musical textures, many musical textures, featuring some of Bruce's finest vocal performances of his career and lifetime thus far in this life. A quick story here that he says, Shane, don't forget the Joe Rogan vitamins. There's old D. Snyder. We love old D. Snyder, and this is the guy that runs Spotify, okay? And D. Snyder is not wrong with what he's talking about, what I think he's going to talk about. He says he's not getting no money from Spotify. That is a man that you don't want to mess with. He'll come in his denim jeans and tell you what's for. But I wanted to see just briefly what this was about. Then we're going to get into a little paranormal hunting with James Lomenzo, and he's in a band, I don't know if you know him, Megadeth. Just a clip of it. And then we got your comments. Oh, what a night. Spotify CEO Daniel Ek isn't exactly the most popular guy in the music world. Before the massive outcry over terrible royalties, Ek made headlines for saying in an interview with Music Ally that you can't record music once every 3 to 4 years and think that's going to be enough. He added that artists today that are making it realize that it's about creating a continuous engagement with their fans. He's not completely wrong about that. I would agree with some of that there. Or in other words, music should be an endless stream of content to boost engagement and keep folks like Eck afloat. Now, I disagree with him if he's talking like that. If this smart man that just deciphered what that guy said is saying that he said that, then I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm saying Eck to that. In an interview with Jeremy White Show, the Jeremy White Show, isn't he doing the podcast? It's called the Jeremy White, and the one guy up there in Canada used to have a podcast, and then he decided to just not do his podcast anymore. Rock Talk with Rock Talk with, I can't remember. But I thought it was Jeremy White and that guy that was doing a podcast together. In an interview with the Jeremy White Show, Twisted Sister frontman and solo artist Dee Snider had some choice words for Eck and his philosophy on how music should be created and put out in the world. I think you can put it out, now this is not Dee Snider, this is me, but I think you can put out music any old damn way you want. I think that the days of putting out the 12-song record and stuff can still be done, but I think that, I kind of like the EPs and stuff when people have new music and stuff, but whatever. That guy from Spotify, Eck, is that his name? I want to tell you, he should be taken out and shot. Oh, Dee, don't say that. When I heard the artists were complaining about how little we get paid, his response was, make more music. I mean, I agree with that. Like, we're producing cans of Coke. Just increase the production. It's insulting. It's belittling. Snider then touched on how he's still making money outside the world of streaming. For me, it's all about licensing. The licensing is the last godsend. If I'm being honest with you, I feel like I'm going in a little Vinnie Barbarino. Maybe he is more of a Vinnie Barbarino. For me, it's a licensing. The licensing is the last godsend. The last oasis where you can actually make some money. Some Steven Spielberg chooses, we're not going to take it for the finale of Ready Player One. Then thank you, God, because I'm not getting anything from Spotify. You can take that to the bank, Mr. Carter. Get yourself a Diet Coke if you know that reference. Besides Miss Althea, she knows what it is. And maybe Mike Buchanan know what it is. Mr. Cotter. Spotify recently came under fire again when they announced they're requiring every song on the platform to get at least 1,000 plays yearly in order to be eligible for royalties. That's shit. Especially, I mean, Mr. Eck, that's shit because you get paid. You know, my band, Die Monster Die, all one word, is on the streaming services, and you only get paid a fraction of a penny per play. So then you got these young new bands that are out there, and we've done some on the first listens where they you know, if you're a $1 billion company, you should you show the bands, show everyone, show all the artists on your platform. We love you. Let's see. What's the threshold confirmed by music? Let's see. In order to 1,000 plays yearly, in order to be eligible for royalties, the threshold was confirmed by Music Business Worldwide, who have shared that 1,000 streams will indeed be the minimum yearly play count volume that each track on the service has to hit in order to start generating royalties from Q1 2024. I don't quite understand that. It's just you just got to get 1,000 plays and then it kicks on the royalties. I don't know. Who's this guy? Yeah, there they are. Yeah, who's this guy? That's Jeremy White. Because it says Jeremy White behind it. Jeremy White Show. Oh, baby, yeah, ba, ba, ba. No, we're not going to get into that. We're going to get into paranormal. We're getting into paranormal now, guys. You can go watch this whole thing over at Paranormal Prison, Episode 8, Megadeth. This is great if this guy, takes heavy metal bands paranormal hunting. ghost hunting. I'm into that stuff. I like the ghost shows. I think I've queued this up where James Lomenzo, if I think that's him, I'm pretty sure, he's about to ask a ghost. They got one of them annoying boxes, this is just goes. Is there anyone in the room with us? I'll fucking kill you. Anyways, let's go. Yeah, see? Is anyone here?
Who is that? Can you say hello again?
Hello, me. Meet the real me.
First contact.
What? Come on.
Do you want to tell us your name?
There's Dirk. Ian.
Yeah.
It's Scott Ian. Brian.
Wow.
Oh, what's he saying?
Now we have two separate voices coming through the spirit box. We heard the names Ian and Brian.
Ian and Brian.
Ian and Brian, two of the lost souls and spirits who died at the hands of their fellow inmates?
Oh, Jesus Christ, I hope not.
Me, myself, I've had what I believe are visitations in sleep. But
And this guy also does, he puts curses and stuff. This guy, Dave Mustaine, is fully aware of what can happen in the paranormal world. He has put curses on people, and he's sad to this day about it. Because these curses really turned out. What are you going to say, Dave?
as far as out-of-body experiences or seeing any apparitions or stuff like that, how much of it is just a little...
Another thing I want to say about this, and he's like, Dirk's back, here's his. Dave, you've been out of your body? But I'm seeing Kiki back here. Kiko. So they must have filmed this a little while back now, because we got Matt Desari in the band. Is James going to tell us anything, or just be quiet?
Back when you were doing that stuff, and maybe it's real.
In the heart of confinement.
In the heart of confinement. We're going to get into your comments. There you go. You can go watch that. It's only like a 9-minute segment there. I think that's a great idea. I'd love to do the paranormal hunting. I think that would be so fun. It'd be fantastic if you could do people, take Rob Halford. You and him in an abandoned prison. Hello, is there any spirits here? Let's get into it. Mike Buchanan, I am back with one last Christmas movies that are bad, but we love them anyways. Santa Jaws, 2018. I was on a streaming platform to be left nameless looking for holiday movies to watch. Why? Skinamax, is that where you were at? The platform? Were you at Skinamax? Holiday movies to watch with my wife. Yeah, he was on Skinamax because he can't be on those channels. Can't be on Skinamax if you're going to watch a movie on a channel with your wife. Because I couldn't remember the name, I started doing a search for Santa Jaws I started doing a search, and Santa Jaws popped up. We did watch a different movie, but then watched Santa Jaws on Christmas Eve. Because why not? The movie starts off with two kids who are making a comic book called, you guessed it, Santa Jaws. Fast forward to the artist who is just trying to survive his family at Christmas, who is given a mysterious pen by his grandfather that unknown to him, when he draws Santa Jaws, he magically brings the shark to life, which then begins to devour his family. If you've ever watched any Goosebumps, I watched a lot of them with my kid. The little TV series ones. If you've ever watched Goosebumps, this movie has that kind of feel to it, although a little more violent. If you're finding yourself with nothing, and I do mean nothing better to do, go watch Santa Jaws. Her eyes glow red just like Rudolph's nose on Christmas Eve. Is that the tagline? Still Mike Buchanan here. Sorry to hear about Lars's father passing. It's hard losing dads. Mine passed about 3 years ago. Motley Crue canceling a concert. Yawn. Maybe they didn't have enough Little Debbie snack cakes for Vince. Hey, the Little Debbies are pretty good, man. If Vince is mowing them down, I feel his pain because I like them. I like the little chocolate swirly ones. The Christmas trees are all right, but I like those little ones that are chocolate with the creamy swirl in the middle. Well, that's just a bit weird that people received Lemmy's ashes. Today, as I write this, happens to be 12/28. I'll pour out one Jack and Coke for Lemmy and drink one for myself. Rest in peace. Drink one for me too, buddy. Oh, sometimes I think about, it's weird because I'm usually kind of a beer guy, but since I haven't drank anything since October. And I just kind of going, let's just see how long I go. But one thing that keeps popping in my head is Wild Turkey 101 on ice. Oh, every time I think of it, just the burn. I just think, oh, God, that'd be great. Sorry to be, let's see. Happy birthday, Peter Chris. I only got to see him live on the reunion tour. Same with me. For what I remember, he was fantastic. I'm echoing Miss Althea's comments on the disrespect of Kiss for not inviting Peter and Ace to the final Kiss show because they didn't want it to sound like piss. It's just wrong. Good on D for being more charitable. Everyone should be. The world would be a better place. While I'm not the biggest fan of the Winds of Change, I did, however, find this version of it a bit better than the original, or dare I say, best whistle song. Yes. I think that's pretty much hands down. That's universal, that is the best hard rock whistled song. And my brain is completely going out on me. I can't think of another one, and I know there's probably hundreds. Guns N' Roses. Never mind. And now your Jive Talkin' jokes of the week. I have a friend who tried to take a selfie in the shower, but the image was too blurry. He has selfie steam issues. Oh. How do I know the earth is flat? It's 80% water and none of it is carbonated. Damn straight. As I was getting in bed, she said, "You're drunk." I said, "How do you know?" She said, "You live next door." But since you're here, what do you call a horny square? Is that right? What do you call a horny square? An rectangle. Just before I die, I am going to eat a whole bag of unpopped popcorn. That should make the cremation a little more interesting. That's good. Except for the guy that's going to cook you is probably the same guy that cut you open to put the Jiffy Pop in, right? I feel like they would do it just to see what happens. I'm like, fuck, I'm bored. It's just the same thing every damn day. Scoop the brains, cut the chest, get the guts, you know, make up the face, put it in the box or put it in the oven. It's like, let's put some freaking Jiffy Pop in this dude and see what happens, And finally, in the new year, I'm giving up drinking for a month. Sorry, that came out wrong. In the new year, I'm giving up drinking for a month. He's given up. He's going to go drinking for a month. Wishing everyone a happy new year and to having an amazing 2024. Yes, indeedy, it's the new year. What is it? You're getting this day before New Year's Eve, I think. Miss Althea coming in. She's got a list here. The dumbstruck fool says, I had not heard the news about the passing of Lars Ulrich's father. Having lost my own father just weeks ago, yes. My heart goes out to Lars and the rest of his family. May they both be at peace on the other side. Yeah. Miss Althea on Motley Crue. Issues beyond the band's control, question mark. I will take the high road and say no comment. Oh, this word, I don't know. Oh, Acrisure is an insurance company, by the way. Yep. Acrisure. Insure. Sure. Acrisure. Miss Althea on Duff McKagan. I would also like to know who else is on this short list of people who received a Lemmy bullet, as it sure doesn't sound like it is a small group of people. Seems like at every turn someone is saying they have one. Like how many revolvers could you fill with the things? How many revolvers could you fill with them? At least, I'm going to say, was a 6-shot to a revolver? There's a whole lot of Lemmy to cook up. I don't know exactly how that works. Do they give you all? Is it like swept all of it into one box, or is it like that's good enough? You know, fill up a good vase full of it, and I don't know how that works. There could be thousands of Lemmy bullets, and we don't even know. And could you kill a Japanese vampire with them? You could damn well sure do that. How many revolvers could you fill with the things? And could you kill Japanese vampires with them? And a combo happy birthday, rest in peace to Lemmy, since he passed just a couple of days after his 70th birthday. Yes, I vaguely remember that. They were very close together. Miss Althea on Peter Chris, a belated happy birthday to the one and only Catman, trying to wrap my head around him being 2 years away from turning 80. It is amazing that he is still on this earth considering his many years of alcohol and drug abuse, as well as the fact that he is a cancer survivor. I will also use this opportunity to again say how remiss, disrespectful, and irresponsible I feel it was of Gene and Paul to not involve him and Ace in some way at the final show at MSG, period. Yeah. They should have been there. Every single person out there in that audience, young, old, and new, they didn't get turned on to the makeup and the look and the feel and stuff off of Psycho Circus, or not even that, off of Sonic Boom. Miss Althea on Yoshiki and the Scorpions. The clip from Yoshiki's this is a clip from Yoshiki's new movie, Under the Sky. No, I have not yet seen it, only because I don't think I could handle it right now if there's another scene like in We Are X where he starts bawling over Hide. Yes, I do enough of that on my appropriate Scorpion, on my own. I do enough of that on my own, just saying. And no, I don't love Winds of Change, one of my least favorite metal ballads ever. However, if there was an appropriate Scorpion song for Yo to lend his classical talents to, it would be that one. I agree with that. It's just a classic tune, and him putting them little plackers, his little flamingo arms flying up, but then coming down on the keys to hit the keys. Happy New Year to you, Diablo dearest, and to all the incredible subscribers and contributors to this channel. Contributors, I like that. You guys are all contributors. I love doing all the requests and the feedback, and I like to see you guys chatting it up and stuff. I loved, in the early days of the internet, I loved message boards. It was always a big clan of the same old knuckleheads every day getting on there to post. Cocktails for everyone, cheers. Or as the Japanese vampires say, I don't know, I'm going to get this wrong. It's not Kampa? Kampa. Is that right? Miss Althea, there's your New Year heart. Jolly Jake coming in here. Here are the Everly Brothers working on a murder ballad back in 1958. I'm going to look into that. I did click it for a quick second to see it's like 17 minutes long, so I'm assuming it's just them trying to write the tune. That'd be more interesting to me. And what do you mean by murder ballad? But as soon as I saw them, I went, oh, yep, I know. I sure do wish I could remember one of their tunes. Wake up, my little Susie, wake up. Isn't that Everly Brothers? Get in the comments. Timothy coming in here. Merry Christmas, Shane. Thanks for the awesome channel. We got to do a horror podcast. I did one of them for many, many, many years. And so I'm going to take a break from that. But Happy New Year to you, good sir. Christian coming in here. Let's see what I'm trying to think about when this is coming up. We got his, I think it's his band. Yeah, Christian Haynes. Torn Sky. Coming up. That's coming up on Sunday. You're a talented dude, Shane. That gets you a heart and a thumbs up because compliments get you everywhere. And there was also 2 hearts, thumbs ups already there. So there was 2 other people that agreed with him that said I was an awesome dude. Talented dude. Dale coming in here. He's got 2. I'd rather hear the Crew play their own Fight for Your Right tune off the Theater of Pain album. It's better. Is that something? Fight for Your Rights? I'm going to have to go back and check that and see. Because that's starting to, it's jingling a bell in my head. All right, there's your heart, my good man. And one more from Dale here. LOL. That means laugh out loud. He's laughing out loud. Whatever he's doing right now, because he is on this video. So whatever it is, it involves me in some way, and he's LOLing. Dude watched you for some time now. Dig your show. Do more Mick Mars cursing the Crew, please. You mean like, oh, yeah. Serpents of the deep, please. Do more Crew mocking. You're fucking hilarious. Well, that is compliments, guys. So Dell's going to get himself a thumb as well. Get out there, start that new year, new day. What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you're saying, well, there's a few things in my life I could change, I could fix. What are those going to be? You don't have to tell the world. You don't have to tell anybody anything. You just get on it and do it. You say, there's this thing that's what I need to do. And I haven't been doing it, but I need to do it. You know, I mean, shit. You know, when I stopped drinking there in October, it was just a spur, but it was a good solid 30 years of steady alcohol intake. So, you know, it's just something to go, what's going to happen to the body? What happens, you know? What are you going to do in your life? What do you got planned for 2024? You can put all that in the comments below. I'm wishing you all the best. Anything you set your mind to, anything, this is not poppycock. This is not bullshit when I tell you, if you have a dream and you have a passion and you want to do it, it's true when they say the only thing that holds you back is you. Now, here's the issue that you have, and because everyone has it and I had it, is you think to yourself, who the fuck am I? Why in the fuck should I do this? Or who am I? I'm nobody. Well, you're not nobody until you're somebody, right? Remember, there was a time where, who's your favorite author? Stephen King? There was a time there was no Stephen King. There was no Clive Barker. There was a time that there was no Papa Roach until there was a Papa Roach. There was a time that there was no, Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura until there was. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anything you set your heart and soul and mind to, you can do. You can achieve it. But you have to be all in. We're getting out of here. Does this thing, I'm wondering, no, that's too much. That's too much. I was going to do like the New Year's theme that probably programmed in here along with the jingle bells that I did, but no. You guys deserve something tasty and good. Let's see. This is just the worst because I wish this thing would just hold the patterns, but it doesn't. I want to take you guys out with something good. Here we go. Happy New Year, baby girl. I can't believe you came over tonight. Get under that mistletoe, 'cause I left it up from Christmas. Baby, get over here for some kisses and love. Maybe go back in the room and make some love later, but not now. 'Cause it's New Year 2024. It's a good time. Everybody in the family doing good things in the future. In the future. Jive with me, sweet baby girl. To your daddy's house, I ask for your hand in marriage after 3 dates. Because it's deep, rich loving that we're deep, rich loving that we're deep, rich loving that we have.